God bless you. My name is Ishmael Albert Viala, an administrative assistant and a disciple of BIT. I've been part of a soul processing team 2017, and I must confess that soul processing is very phenomenal. It's magical. I've always lived with a belief that my mother doesn't love me, and it's always been there. I've always found genuine reasons to believe that indeed she doesn't love me. I remember, when I was very young, 2-3 years, I kind of am a bit different from people. I don't always be just like everybody, so it's like there's some uniqueness. Then people will ask, who are you? Where do you come from? I remember I only tell them, I come from flowers. And when they probe, what do you mean you come from flowers? How can a human being come from flowers? I say, yes, me, I wasn't born. I come from flowers. I remember another incident when my mother did not have time for me. She's a businesswoman. She always goes to and bring goods to sell. And so she didn't have time. She didn't have the time for me. So I was left in the care of my sister. And I couldn't even have enough breastfeeding. I wasn't feeling good about it. So then I decided to stop breastfeeding myself. And this happened when I was only 2 weeks old. I decided to stop. So I actually took in breast for only 2 weeks. Now, growing up I was living with my mother, and she was working under somebody. I have this ailment that when it comes, it's only somebody close to me who has the history and is able to cool it down. Now, I was living with my mother. My mother is the only one who knows about it. And yet, my mother had to leave me and take a grandkid of the one she was working for to a far village in Ningo Pram Pram. She even had to cross a whole river before they get to where they have to do the rituals for the boy to be healed. The boy was suffering from some kind of strange disease, and that's what had to be happening to the guy. I had just, my temperature had just started rising up, shooting up, going as far as 42. And yet, my mother had to leave me and went with somebody's grandchild, also with some disease. Then I was asking myself, did she really love me? Did she really bring me here? I don't think she's my mother. Knowing very well that you are the only one that knows the history of what is happening to me, and that when you're around, you can easily take care of it, then you would just leave me and go like that. Nobody took care of me. Well, thank God the worst didn't happen. And she even lost her jewels in the course of that exercise she took, because she was not supposed to have wore those jewels in crossing that river to the village. And so she didn't know, and it happened. So while she was losing her jewels, her son was also somewhere dying. I've grown up, I've had a family, and yet I still see my mother doesn't love me because she has time for all my siblings, especially the grandkids of her from my siblings. She hears a little, then she just rushes around, stop whatever she's doing, she goes. But not with me. She doesn't really come to me. She will only come to me when it's so extremely necessary. And even with that, probably then she has some needs and she would like me to assist in a way. And that's when she will come to me. So I've lived with this belief about my mother. But this is a trigger, and it's from soul processing. All this while, my liberator was probing. And one of the probes took me to the prenatal, life, where I was before my mother even conceived me. And it was amazing, as a potential liberator, all along I was thinking, people try to cook up stories a bit just to entice the whole program so it will make it look some way. Because I wasn't believing somebody could say, yes, I traveled to a distance, a time when I was not even born, a time when I had lived a past life before. And I was like, well, me, why can't I also feel that? Why can't I also experience that? So deep within me, I wasn't really believing, entirely until I became a liberatee. One of the probes just took me to a time when I just knew I was, but I had not yet been born. And I heard my mother saying, I'm tired. I mean, I've had 7 kids. I'm so tired. I don't want to give birth again. I want to, focus on my business. Then I would have enough money to take care of the kids. And should any pregnancy come, she would abort it because she really had made a mind that she is not going to give birth to me. And, well, I really felt this at the time. I was contemplating within me. You have allowed yourself for 7 siblings of mine, 7 children to have come from you. What difference would it make if you should allow the last one to even come? Why would you say that? If you really truly love me, would you have said that you are tired of me coming? In any case, what did you do? What effort did you do in bringing the 7? And what extra effort will you do again to bring another one? So I just concluded that she doesn't love me. And lo and behold, she conceived me and kept me for 7.5 months before she got to know she was pregnant. It was an amazing. Now, what amazes me so much about this story is, first of all, I wasn't believing somebody could go to a past life and understand why certain things are happening. And so I was really overwhelmed. I was humbled. It happened. It was just like my mother speaking through me. I was speaking, but I knew it was not me who was speaking. And it's a feeling that's so amazing. And so, what lessons did I learn from it? She didn't really, she actually loved me. Because I quite remember my Liberator probed further to find out what other good there could be that my mother had done to me. And that probe took me to several incidences that she had showed so much love that I wasn't paying attention to. So then I know my mother, yes, indeed, she's right. She had to have time for a business to generate enough funds to take care of the other ones. And so she was right. She actually loved me. But I had to come anyway, and I came. I'm so grateful to Soul Processing. It's just magical. It's just magical. Just to add up a little bit to it, during the process, I was with my wife. I had done something that I didn't want her to know. So it's like I hid myself to do it. Then she just stood in front of me, looked straight into my eyes, and I was just humbled. I could just hear what she was thinking. She didn't say anything. And later in the day, when she asked what I was thinking, in fact, I actually asked her what she was thinking. She said it and was exactly what I was hearing she saying during the time. And how did I get to know this? It's soul processing. Soul processing is giving me some intuition that when I'm even speaking with somebody, I'm able to understand certain thoughts, even though those thoughts are not coming out. It's simply magical. And I'm so grateful to Brother Ishmael, and I'm so grateful to Ethereum Mission, the unifier and the activator of potential spirit of God. I'm so grateful that my life is now living a life that is overwhelmed with enlightenment. And truly, being a student and a disciple, I believe it will take me far to deeper wisdom. And I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Well, during the process of liberating him, you could see from his face that he was not speaking, but the mother was speaking through him. And it took him some time to realize that he was actually not speaking. And when we probed into the incident further, he was able to recall things that the mother said when he was not even giving birth. He was still in the stomach. And so I recommend soul processing to everybody, that if you have a challenge, you better come to soul processing for you to be liberated from that core issue that brought those challenges. We thank Etia Mission for the soul processing, and we are grateful to Brother Ishmael. Thank you.